Trump originally said he was looking to possibly pardon Diddy. But then there was a follow-up interview where he said, well, I found all the negative stuff he was saying about me.
What negative stuff?
Diddy definitely was bashing Trump.
Okay, I get it. But it only is, it's not about.
Yeah, during his first election.
The thing about Trump is, and the thing about people is, isn't it funny how we always talk about black criminality? We all know statistic about black people and how many people in prison. You know, 80%, almost 80% of the convicted felons for sexual, for pedophilia in America are white.
Yeah, I believe it.
So, I'm a comic. We say, fuck them kids. Y'all do it. Y'all do it. I don't know who's on the Epstein list, but I do know this. I know two things for sure. It was wealthy, rich white men, right? Who did it in front of wealthy, rich white men. I guarantee you, I'm not saying anything, but I guarantee you the only way, so we always have conversations about crime, but we never talk about the crimes that they're comfortable talking about. If you look,
you do know, like, I just want to interrupt you real quick. People always talk about how many murders happen in America, right. But on a per capita basis, America's nowhere near the top.
What I would say is this, that on a nation that claims to love God and democracy and civil order, we're way too comfortable with death.
Look, I actually just looked it up because I was, for some reason it hit my timeline earlier today. The total murder rate per 100,000, the number one country is what? Take a guess.
East Africa somewhere.
No.
Where?
Jamaica. 49.3. Ecuador is number 2. Haiti's number 3. Honduras, Mexico, Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, Bermuda, Mongolia, and then the United States.
Do you know what the funny thing about that statistic is? What do they have in common that we don't?
I mean...
abject poverty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're all third world countries.
They're poverty.
Until you hit America.
When you get to a nation that's supposed to be evolved in a Western civilization,
right, it
is way worse than people that hard scrap.
Right, because after that is Bolivia, Pakistan, Turkey, Lithuania, Moldavia, Latvia, Morocco, Estonia. It's really, I mean, there are some primarily black countries. I mean, obviously Jamaica, but when you look at the top 10, it's not primarily black countries.
And they have poverty.
There's a lot of, it's basically poverty. Yeah. It's basically a lot of Latino countries and so forth. Yeah.
That's right. Poverty.
It's poverty, though.
That's
None
what I'm
of
saying.
them are rich.
No, but we are.
Yeah. Although Mexico is pretty big. I mean, Mexico is a pretty wealthy.
But I'm not talking about the people at the top.
Yeah, at the bottom, yeah, a lot of poverty.
The thing about us is and those countries aren't trying to tell other people how to live. Those countries aren't telling people, holding themselves up as a shining city on the hill. We're and the worst of us, do you know where the largest number of sex offenders, registered sex offenders, lives in this country? The largest number, where they live?
I mean, besides Nicki Minaj's husband?
He can't be all of them. Where do they live? What state?
What state? Mm-hmm. Please don't say California.
It's Texas.
Texas, okay.
By a lot.
By a lot.
By a lot. There are more registered sex offenders in Texas that there's so many registered sex offenders in Texas, they can fill out Arrowhead Stadium.
Damn.
And the thing about it is, they're a state that prides itself. If we were talking about sex offenders, you would look at states that they consider to be more liberal versus states that they consider more hard on crime. Texas, you would look at and they go, wow, they're so tough on crime. We have 60,000, they have about 76,000. By a lot. So they have more registered sex offenders than anyone in the country, all while you're displaying the Bible in your schools. Read it once in a while. And it's always interesting to me how comfortable white men are, particularly middle-aged white men are, with sexual assault and pedophilia. If you look at the Catholic Church, if you look at the Boy Scouts of America, if you look at Penn State and Ohio State, who ran those schools? Who charged those people and tried to bring justice to them? They were all white, and they all looked out for each other. So if we're going to talk about crime, let's talk about it in its totality and not just nitpicking or cherry picking the things you think make an argument. I think the protection of the children is the only thing that matters.